My name is Stuart Hilliker and I'm a re-recording mixer. Three things I think you need to succeed in my job are an absolute love of the industry. Because the hours are so demanding, you need to be able to just really stick at it. You also need a fair amount of technical ability and, most importantly, I would say an understanding of storytelling. A sound re-recording mixer basically takes the dialogue, the music and effects and uses a mixing desk to combine them. In life, your ear can tune in to what you need to hear. In a film or a TV programme, it doesn't. It needs to be guided, and it's my job to ensure that you are listening to what you should be listening to at any given time. The creative decisions about what you can hear at any one time are obviously, it's based on a number of influences. The director and editor will have come up with stuff while they're cutting the film, probably actually even at script stage they will have ideas. But things evolve, and it's my job to take on their ideas, to listen to their ideas, but maybe adapt them into something that is workable given what we have. Basically, the process of what I do, I often get sent scripts, and I intentionally avoid reading them because I just know from experience that what is in the script invariably isn't what's on the screen. I would much rather respond to the cutting copy. So I tend to get involved at a point where the film is at least assembled. So I have the output from the cutting room, effectively. At that point, I then assess the dialogues to see if there's any problems, if there's things that need to be ADR'd. And then I will talk to the effects editors, who will have also had spotting sessions with the directors, and we will have a very collaborative attempt at coming up with ideas, many of which will be thrown out, but a few live to the final mix. Then the director and potentially editor come in, and we start pre-mixing. And we basically build the mix up in stages. We start with the dialogues, we add the effects, and then eventually we put the music in. I think the biggest challenge in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows was actually twofold. The first part had very little sort of explosive action in it. It was a very gentle road movie. And that presented challenges in terms of creating an atmosphere, holding an audience, and making sure that the whole thing told the story, held together. David Yates is absolutely dedicated to telling stories, and anything that complements the storytelling is embraced immediately. Anything that works against it is just a no-go. You just don't do that. Stay on target with the story. The second part was a very different affair. The second we looked at it, we knew that it was full of action, it was loud, it was just constantly moving. So our challenge was to ensure that it had enough range in it, that it wasn't just a barrage of sound, that it was also quiet, gentle, to allow those explosive moments to happen. And I think we got there. I wouldn't mind having another go at a couple of bits, but I'm quite happy with most of it. I think the most exciting thing for me about the job is that I am there when the film is complete for the first time. I have the finished picture, usually, and I have the complete soundtrack. So it's the point where all the elements that have been worked on for maybe 2 years, 3 years, come together, and they are a cohesive film that an audience will get to see. I think one of my favourite moments was the snake attack in Deathly Hallows Part 1. And the reason I love it so much, it's a sound cliche. It's a very quiet moment that becomes extremely loud very quickly. But to sit in a cinema and watch, I was quite far back actually at the cast and crew screening, and watch 2,000 people jump. You know it's coming, but just see them all jump. And the reason they jump is not just because of the picture, it's mainly because of the sound. And that was a real thrill, and I couldn't help laughing actually.